With the release of the Powerbeats Pro, Apple now has two very different, fully wireless earbuds. And the AirPods have a little competition, so which one is right for you? Now it's obvious right from the start that you've got a massive sized case and one of the smallest cases in the business. And that's because the Beats are sort of an evolution of the Powerbeats 3, their predecessor. They've got the ear clips here, so you've got to have a large case for that. Now, of course, the AirPods have the tiny little case, and it fits a lot better in your pocket. So that's something to think about right away. Now let's get to the design of the actual earbuds. Everyone knows the AirPods. They've got these long dangling antennae here. A lot of people like them, some people don't, but they're actually, according to Apple, the most popular wireless headphones in the world. Now with the Beats, you've got the clip-on, which makes it a little tougher to put them on, but it also makes them very secure, which is why these are really aimed towards athletes. And they've also done a lot to make these different than Powerbeats before them. The Pro are quite a bit smaller than their predecessors, somewhere between 17 and 20%, and they're a lot more efficiently designed. And you can see with this clip here, this is actually adjustable right here, so you can get that very well tuned to your ears, and once you get used to putting them on, it's not such a hassle, but it is a lot easier putting in the AirPods. Now, I'm personally not a huge fan of the plastic tips on the AirPods. They're sort of a one-size-fits-all, they don't really fit inside your ear, and they don't give you great sound isolation, so not only do you hear more of the ambient world around you, but you won't get as good actual sound from the music you're listening to. Now, the Pro changed that and they make it for a more secure fit, and that's not just because of the ear hooks. You've also got real silicone tips. There's 4 different to choose from. Now that's going to give you better sound isolation and better sound overall. You're just going to hear the music better, and we really like the sound of the Powerbeats Pro more than the AirPods. There's a lot of things going on here. Now they are bassy. They're very bassy, just like Powerbeats before them, but it's a more refined sound signature overall. It's clearer, it's got better instrumental separation, and if you can deal with the big boom, it's actually nicely done. It's musical based. So for all those reasons, you're going to get better sound and better isolation from the Powerbeats Pro. Now, one of the things we were waiting for with the AirPods 2 was water resistance. It's something we expected, and when the AirPods 2 finally arrived, we didn't get that. In fact, we didn't get much that was new. That may be because Apple was just waiting to spring the Powerbeats Pro on us, which are water resistant. Now they're IPX4, which means you can't submerge them, you don't want to put a big stream on them, but they are sweat resistant and splash resistant. Now when it comes to battery, the Powerbeats Pro are hands down one of the best in the business. They have 9 hours per charge for each earbud. That is a lot better than the new AirPods, which only have 5 hours, just like the old AirPods. Now, these did add an extra hour of talk time, so it's 3 hours of talk time. But other than that, it's still a sort of medium baseline 5 hours. So you get a lot more time with the Powerbeats Pro. And then when you get to the cases, they're actually about the same. This is a 24 hours total with the case. You've got charging inside the case. And this is a little over 24 hours with the Powerbeats Pro case. It's super huge, so you might not want to take it along. That's why it's nice that these have 9 full hours, so you really don't need the case as much as you would with the AirPods if you need full day listening. But again, overall, it's about 24 hours plus with the Powerbeats Pro, and around the same with the AirPods. Now, one thing that the Powerbeats Pro case cannot do, besides maybe fit in your pocket, is it cannot wirelessly charge like the accessory you can add to the new AirPods. Now, that's an extra $40 for the AirPods, making them about $200. And it's $250 for the Powerbeats Pro. So you're not getting wireless charging here, you're only getting a lightning connection. But they do have quick charging. You get about, I think, an hour at 5 minutes and 4.5 hours at 15 minutes. So it's a really nice quick charge. Another huge similarity is the H1 chip, and I gotta be honest, I really love what this does when it comes to pairing. Not only does it make pairing extremely fast and easy for an iPhone, but it's also pretty fast when you're moving between devices, and it works pretty well with the Android phones as well. It just makes pairing about as easy as it can get for a fully wireless earbud. What else does it do? Well, it allows you to use just one earbud because it connects to the phone independently, so you can take one on the go just like with the AirPods, and it also allows you to call up Hey Siri just with your voice. Now, when it comes to touch controls, we were a little disappointed that Apple didn't add some new features. It's the same old tap on the side. It can be reassigned for different things, but basically it's used to basically skip songs forward, play, pause, and take on phone calls. Now with the Powerbeats Pro, what they've done is added what we really wanted with the AirPods, and that is a volume rocker on top here. It allows you to easily control volume, and I can't tell you how much better it is to have a volume control so you can just keep the phone in your pocket when things get loud or when things get quiet. It's really a nice convenience. We expected that to come in the new AirPods, and it just didn't happen. Of course, you can change it with Hey Siri. You can control the volume that way, but it doesn't work for Android phones, so it's also, I don't really like talking to myself. It's just nice to have that volume on there. Now there's also a multi-button here on the side that does all the things that the tap controls do on the touch sensors for the AirPods. It's kind of nice to have a real button there too. So overall, I really like the Powerbeats Pro's controls better. Now in a lot of ways, the Powerbeats Pro have added their own features, but also taken the best of the AirPods, and that includes optical sensors in here, so they can tell when they're in your ears, and when you pull them out, it automatically pauses music. That's great if you're on a run, you want to check something out, you want to talk to somebody, you pull it out, you put them back in, and you're right where you left off. Really enjoyed that. Also, there's an accelerometer here, so when you set it down on a desk, it knows it's at rest, and it shuts it into a sleep mode in just a couple of minutes, and that helps preserve battery. Now when it comes to Bluetooth connection, that was the best part about the AirPods. In fact, it's probably why they're so popular. They were among the first fully wireless earbuds to really crack that nut, to really make it so Bluetooth connection is very solid no matter what you do. Unfortunately, we didn't have the same success with the Powerbeats Pro. They're normally fine, but we did have some connection issues, especially when the phone was in a back pocket. And it happened a few times, especially when we were downtown as well. So it's something we're still looking into. We're hoping Apple's going to address it. But right now, when it comes to connection, the AirPods really take it. Now, one thing that's interesting about the Powerbeats Pro style, we're used to Powerbeats sort of standing out, sort of having the brash colors, and everyone knows you're wearing them. Well, with the AirPods, that kind of took over that mantle. You cannot miss a pair of AirPods when they're in somebody's ears. They hang down, they're very gleaming white. So these are really the standout ones, whereas Beats has really brought the style down. There's more subtlety here. They have more muted colors with the black. They're also gonna have a moss and a navy, but it just doesn't stand out as much. And even though there's an ear hook here, it actually has a slim profile on your ear, and they sort of just blend in. So for those who are looking for sportiness, for something that's gonna be waterproof and going to sort of blend in more, you may wanna look at the Powerbeats Pro, as long as you don't mind having a huge case. For those who are looking for something that's easier to put in, does have that sort of flashy standout style, and is really about simplicity and not as great sound, but does what you need it to, then maybe you want to go for the AirPods. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you like what you've seen here, please give us a thumbs up, maybe drop a comment in the comments section, and you can go over here for new videos, a couple of more just like this, or come to Digital Trends where you can see all of our full reviews, and please subscribe to our page as well.